and the topic is cloud modernization for data management. We have an excellent guest lined up for you. He is going to explore how to transform your organization into a truly intelligent data enterprise, and he is the founder and the managing partner of BBI Consultancy in the UAE. He has more than 25 years experience in tech solutions and engagement and delivering at executive levels for huge companies, not least Sun Micro, Oracle and Do Telecom. Please give a very warm welcome to the stage to Hafdi Salah.
Good afternoon. I will start by introducing BBI very quickly in a very brief and Informatica for you before we go into watching a video, and then we will talk about cloud modernization for data management. We'll talk about the challenges, we'll talk about the reality, and we talk about some consideration or some advice we can share with you. BBI started in 2009 in Dubai. We focused initially on enterprise data management deployment, like traditional data warehouse, modernization of data warehouse, and then we went into the more advanced technologies like big data, data streaming. We work with different customers we have in telcos, public sector, and in banking. So we try to work as partners with our customers where we help them going through the journey of data-driven digital transformations. Informatica, what can I say of Informatica? Very simple. In 1993, Informatica is the creator of the concept of ETL, creator of Power Center, the very famous Power Center. And since then, Informatica has been really from front in the new concepts of data management, like master data management, data quality, and we can see, and we will talk a little bit about Informatica, different capabilities today in the cloud data processing and cloud data management. Let's see this video quickly together before we go into the topic of cloud modernization.
Successful and modern organizations put data at the heart of every decision they make. But to really modernize your data and analytics in the cloud and become a truly data-driven organization, you must be able to find, understand, and trust your data. With an innovative data intelligence service that lives natively in the cloud, your data, your teams, and your analytics all live and work harmoniously together. Introducing Informatica Cloud Data Governance and Catalog, a comprehensive AI-powered service fueled by a machine learning-based discovery engine that delivers governance, cataloging, and quality capabilities. From scanning and cataloging your data to documentation of definitions, processes, policies, and more. With Informatica Cloud Data Governance and Catalog, your teams can find the data they need on premises or in the cloud, understand its context and meaning, and feel confident that it's approved for use. All while democratizing data and making it easy to get the right data to the right people. Cloud Data Governance and Catalog doesn't just stop at the data. It even enables your teams to put governance around the machine learning models, as well as the data that feeds those models, to power artificial intelligence and analytics for trusted results. And the best part? With Cloud Data Governance and Catalog as a service, you can get started quickly and scale easily with rapid provisioning and licensing that's aligned with your consumption instead of the number of users you have. Turn to Informatica, the leaders in cloud data management, to bring data intelligence to every decision your organization makes. Informatica. Cloud now, data always.
Now, let's see what's happening in terms of cloud modernization, data management in the market. This is the most interesting figure, I would say. 63% of the customers' enterprise are already in the execution mode of going to the cloud for their data management. And on top of the 63%, 29% are in the planning phase, assessment phase, building their strategy and trying to look at the different options they need to do that. Now, we have also 85% of those enterprises. They are what we call it adopting the CFCN, which is called cloud first, cloud native, meaning that in their strategy, they want to see if they can go first on the cloud. If that cannot happen, then they will look at the other options. Another interesting figure we have is 79% of the sources, and this is really interesting because when you go to the cloud, adding a source, which is really important for the data management to enrichment and really give more insight and more business intelligence, adding new sources becomes much easier, much seamless. And what we're happening also is the percentage of the external source systems are bringing into the insurance data is going higher. In some cases, we will see that later on, 80% of the data is coming from outside the organization. 80 to 100%, another extremely important point, we will talk about it later, is they adopting the multi and being independent from the cloud provider. That's really key for the strategy and very key for the scalability. But the reality is a bit more difficult. What's happening is we see 90% of the failures or disruption, meaning that they're going out of the budget, the timelines, and getting a lot of obstacles. If you ask the questions, some companies, they will say 42% is because of the skills. Their employees, their resources are mostly working on-prem, and suddenly they are working on the cloud, so really that becomes an issue and a hander for them. Also 55%, the constraint is there is a perception that it's more expensive. And maybe it's true, because if those customers are treating the cloud as another data center, but of virtual, definitely the cost will be much higher. And there is this lift and shift, which is easy, as like an easy route for customers to go on the cloud. And if I take a little example here, when we talk about, for example, a family living in a house for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and they bought a new house, a much more modern house, somewhere in Dubai Hills, a smart home with smart network, smart alarm, and they engage, let's say, a moving company, and they tell them, I want to move my house to the new house in 24 hours. Lift and shift. It will happen. They will do it. They will take all the bedrooms, all your belongings, all your furniture, and they put it exactly the same way. Works, pay the bill, they're gone. But when you move into the house, nothing will work, because nothing has been configured correctly. Maybe the bed is too big for the room, you cannot even work on it, your belongings are in different places. That's exactly giving the perception it's very successful, but it's not usable, it's not working. The other happening is the whipping and changing everything, which is another, again, if you have a house and you're moving, what you do is you throw everything out, all your furniture, all your belongings, and you buy everything new. That's absolutely not feasible. Nobody will support that because financially it's very expensive, and you cannot really get rid of all these assets that you had for many, many years in your house. That's exactly what's happening in terms of migration and modernization to the cloud. Based on our experience as Informatica or BBI, we developed this consideration, so let's say advising points that we really want our customers to take in consideration. The very first one, as we were talking about, is leverage your proven business, meaning, and I'll go to the first point, actually, I jumped to that, do not, and if I can say this, do not bring your trash that you had on-prem into the cloud. You're not doing really technical migrations. You are doing an asset migration. So that means you need to take your time, assess what you have, identify the assets, whether they are technical or business, and that's what you really need to focus and migrate. The second thing is the architecture need to be designed in a way that you can leverage the cloud, which is again back to the cloud first, cloud native. And, which is really key on architecture, make it independent from the platform, independent from the cloud providers. The third point, when you're buying the technology or the platform or the solution on top of the platform, make sure it is seamless, it works together, and it's very capable to use the leverage of the cloud on the product. The fourth one is the big bang, we don't think it works because it's difficult to convince, it's difficult to get the business case, it's difficult to prove the ROI for it. Going a small scale, for example, have a use case that it will drive it, or have a certain business requirement have it, which is can control it with risk, and it becomes like a pilot. And we will see some cases we have that happened, which were very successful, and then went with a bigger migration. The last one, and I think maybe this is really the important way we're talking about the people besides technology and process, the people who know what's happening on-prem, they know the assets we were talking about, whether it's business technology. Combining that by scaling them, by training them, understanding the cloud, that combination is really, really ideal for any enterprise. And of course, by going through the consideration, you control the time, you can control the cost, and you really lower your risks. This is a typical number that we see for an existing power center, which is on-prem, ETL, data management, or it can be any other Informatica product. You see the investment is huge, is big. And you need to go through the assessment. It's really important in this migration or modernization process. Again, maybe a little obsessed about the house and family. modernization cloud is, again, it's like you're trying to renovate, you're trying to remodel your house, and we need to treat that like a designer as a contractor, where we take in consideration the budget, the cost, the strategy, or the innovation, how you really want this end product to be, and we work through that. And what we did over time is we developed a methodology, what we call it migration factory, which will provide you a reference architecture, provide you tools, automation tools, to automate the migration as much as possible, and also, of course, using the technology and the product Informatica, plus the skills, the professional services, and there is also the budgeting that has to be considered into this methodology. This methodology is called Migration Factory. Initially has been used for Power Center, which is the traditional ETL for Informatica. Very successful, very approved for hundreds of use cases and hundreds of projects we developed in it, and then made a future-proof, and then it has been extended to cover all the Informatica product, like Customer 360 into the SaaS, and the Informatica data quality into the cloud data quality, the capability of Informatica on the cloud. Again, just to give you an idea, because we were talking about Power Center as a historic product of Informatica, those are the figures of Informatica Power Center being used worldwide, and you see that's a huge use, huge in terms of ETL, mappings, workflows, ETL processes. Quick, again, snapshot on Informatica. You see, Informatica works with any source systems using any technology, whether it's batch processing, real-time processing, event-based processing, complex event processing, and using the AI capability of Informatica which is called Claire, then you are able to profile, catalog the products, transform, translate, and massage the data, integrate the data through APIs or applications, and then implement all the data validation, transformation, data qualities. Then you can build your own masters, golden records, and then you can implement your frameworks for data governance using the different technologies of Informatica, and then make the data available for consumptions through APIs or directly through visualization product to different users that you have within the organization or outside the organization. That's Informatica cloud data management platform. Again, going back to that point where we're saying you need to choose your technology and product that works in a seamless way with your cloud provider. And this is what Informatica keeps working really, really strong with Google, with AWS, with Azure. And another key important, the partnership between Informatica and Snowflake. Informatica is considered as an elite partner with Snowflake, where all the Informatica products can leverage and use all the workload of Snowflake. And this is really important because it will help you to simplify and facilitate and go faster in your design architecture and your migration and your modernization of your data management. Some examples here that we see worldwide, and also we'll look at someone locally, Pfizer, which is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies based in the US. They used Power Center, and they're still using Power Center on-prem, but then they used Informatica cloud services, intelligent cloud services, to migrate to Snowflake. And there was this reach to meet one major challenge for them during the clinical trial. They had a peak time when they have to process, and it was becoming really costly for them to do it on-prem, so they had to migrate this on the cloud so that they can scale up and down based on the needs they have. Another example, some say PayPal is the largest, maybe we would say one of the largest Power Center implementation, and we used the migration factory, like we say, with references and methodology to migrate from Power Center to Informatica Cloud Services. I believe it's on Google using Google BigQuery. Another example, local one here, is Abu Dhabi Department of Culture and Tourism. We started in 2018. We built a data management hybrid. Data management and data processing was on the cloud, but the data residing completely on-prem. And over time, we build that whole data management, enterprise data management, with Visitor 360 degree, which was really important for the business and the challenges of Abu Dhabi Department of Culture and Tourism. Today, the platform is completely on cloud, and it has all the capability in terms of AI, machine learning, and right now there is a data governance program running to control the data, the access to the data, the security and the privacy of the data. Other examples here, but just again, the message is the migration factory, which really helps you to automate, to lower the cost, control the risk. We can keep talking about, for example, cabs, which is one of the most successful sports franchise in all sports. They had their revenue generated from ticketing, from broadcasting channels, from merchandising, and they had this data coming in silos. So they were not able to really manage and build that holistic view about their customers and their products. So they had to migrate onto the cloud using Informatica Cloud Services to be able to build that 360 about the products, about their customers, and be able to sell the right product in the right time, like we say. We spoke about it, PayPal. Feeding America, which is a non-profit organization that focuses on providing and supporting people with food. They have about 200 banks where they collect donations and food. And they had a tricky situation where they had to control their supply chain for the food. And again, they had the processing. They had to read data from legacy system. And the best way with them was to go on the cloud using Informatica Cloud Services. Another simple example is Rent-A-Car, which is a local based in France. The market was shrinking for them, and they also were losing market share to the big players. So they had to really improve their 360 customers to understand their customer, what they want, what are the pricing they need to put them, what kind of service they need to them. They migrated their legacy data management into the cloud using Informatica Cloud Services. Along with that, they use big data management and data quality advanced for the quality transformation. I can keep talking. So what I would really suggest, if you can join us in our booth, just out of this door, we can share with you our stories, we can share with you what we have been experiencing, and we can answer all the questions that you might have at any time. Thank you.